you say there's been a bit of a...
I wouldn't say a falling out.
How did it go? How did that... Are you all right talking about it?
Yeah. Well, I didn't even... We haven't spoke about it since me and the lad, but...
What happened then? Let's go.
This is another thing that I love listening to when people are starting a business, is that people don't realise that you're...
We're sort of branching out slowly into retail. So we've got 4 retailers.
Who are them? Do you want to say them?
Yeah, we've a first ever one.
Also, at the same time, if somebody wants to work with you, they shouldn't sort of really be dictating what you do with your business.
That's right, yeah. So when all this arrives then, where is it being stored at your house?
Initially it was, and then...
I bet you love that, didn't you?
What,
I looked and I thought...
Every room of the house?
Trying to get a container was so difficult. And they went from, I think, like £2,500 for a container to about £9,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Did you go to college for it or anything?
Nothing, no.
You're just on the job?
Yeah.
A lot of people do that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it, having a trade that you've learned while you've been going along.
You want to start, Mark?
Oh, good. I'll start, mate.
With your puff piece to camera. Like, subscribe.
Like, subscribe, comment below. Yeah. So, Friday night, new episode of Trade Legends. We've got Troy from Dusty Boys in, but before we get going, as we've saying in a few of the recent podcasts, if you're not subscribed to the channel, the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything. And also, it just helps push the content that we're making out, push the podcast. Hit the like button, drop a comment. One of us will get back to you. You comment a lot. I comment a lot. Trade Legends account comments a lot. So yeah, if you want to drop a comment in it after whatever we've discussed on tonight's show, will be good.
And hopefully we'll have a cheeky little discount code for you.
Yeah.
So if you're listening on Spotify, hopefully we'll be able to put it in the comments on YouTube. So if you fancy any of the products, then hopefully Troy will hook us up with...
I'll sort you all out, no problem.
Good price.
But you'll have to
price.
wait to the end to find out what the discount code is or where to get it. See what I've done? I've led the audience in. They're going to come at me in the comments now. So yeah, Friday night, new Trade Legends podcast, and we've got Troy in from Dusty Boys. Now, I thought when you came in and we seen this product, and I've seen it on Instagram and everywhere like that, I thought this was a standalone business, but it's not. Because you're a carpenter as well, which I did not know.
Confused me then.
Yeah, no. You wondered where I was going with it. Yeah, but when you came in and I was asking you a few little questions about it before we started recording, and you said you was a chippy as well. But you don't do any content on socials through the carpentry stuff, so that's what sort of threw me a little bit. I thought it was a standalone business, so that'll be interesting to go from that as we go through the journey into the Dusty Boys. What do you call it? Protection. What's
surface protection?
Surface protection.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So should we? Because normally what we tend to do is get you to take us back to sort of you're leaving school. How did you get into? Firstly, obviously becoming a carpenter,
and then a long one.
And then secondly, the progression from doing that to then deciding not only do you want to work on the tools, but you want to help other people that are working on the tools and develop products for that. Where did the ideas come from? Where did the name come from?
Got started in the trade thanks to my brother. He's a carpenter himself. He took me on when I finished in one of my earlier jobs, which was HGV driving. So he gave me a job. I worked with him for a few years. And then near to the end of that, we came up with this idea, really. Well, I did in the end. Sort of stemmed from his brain initially. The idea was to come out with a ankle protection for dust going in your boots. So that's where the brand name comes from. A lot of people, is it
bricklayers who have they're almost like...
God, what are they? I know what you mean.
You know, the things that go over the boot and then it sort of hugs round the ankle.
Stopping the crap and that going inside. Yeah, because brickies tend to wear the big boots, the open top boots, don't they? So that's prime example of them doing that to stop the muck and that going in. Mm. But you was obviously a carpenter. How many years was you a carpenter for?
Prior to this... Quick maths, about 4 years.
Oh, okay.
Total,
I'm more interested in the HGV driving.
Yeah. What was that? Where did that? So you obviously left school, and what did you do? Go?
Initially then. So from my mates will love this, by the way.
You didn't want to talk about it after Sam. Come on then.
Forklift driving was my main thing for probably 3 or 4 years from leaving school. Decided I wanted to take the next step in driving, which was wagons. So did that, and then. That came to an end, and that's when I started my brother. He just took me on then because I was sort of at a dead end. He needed a hand, and on a tailor wimpy site, and that was that.
He took pity on you.
Something like, yeah.
What was you doing on that first fix carpentry?
I was doing just a little bit of finishing, really, just putting the doors on. And
Right,
that's just pretty straightforward with everything, how they do it. But so yeah, started there, just sort of learnt the easy bits,
on the
like,
job.
and then.
So have you got any? Did you go to college for it? Or
Nah,
anything?
nothing. No.
So you're just on the job.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it, having a trade that you've learned while you've been going along. I don't think I've ever been asked for the qualifications. Then again, I've only had 2 employed jobs, but I don't think many people ask for it. They just go along with people because they know what they're doing.
Yeah. I don't think. Well, I don't know what I would have gained from going to college, to be honest. So, apart from starting earlier.
Yeah, because
But
when we had Eriok Alon, he said, going to college was pointless.
Yeah.
He said, they're teaching you stuff. He said, admittedly, some of the bits you might use it once every 4 years. He said, but for carpentry, he was like, you're much better just learning on the job. But it depends, everybody you speak to on here.
Yeah, maybe if you were like joinery based, that might come in handy. Like I do sometimes wish someone had taught me how to use a chisel properly, but I'm left-handed as well, so that's been a bit of a tough road. But
it's all right. Us plumbers
got
just
there
have
in the
one
end.
chisel we've had for loads of years. We just whack bricks out.
With a hand.
Just smash everything apart. We even try and do wood with it sometimes. Yeah. So yeah, you was doing your carpentry and that, and then you was always working with your brother?
To start with, yeah.
And then you went off on your own?
Yeah, went off with a friend of my brother's as
Right,
well.
okay.
Like we went and did a little bit, and then I started working on my own. Yeah, got a van and stuff, and
you've gone
moved
from
on there.
site work, you're doing mainly domestic stuff now?
Yeah, pretty much almost instantly, really. Did a little bit of, say, commercial for about 8 months after the site work, and then it's all been domestic then since then. Like so, yeah.
Which one do you prefer? Obviously the domestic, I presume.
It's hard, to be fair. Yeah, domestic, you've got to be on the money, haven't you, all the time?
Yeah,
like,
you've got to. You're in people's houses. I say you've got to be a social comedian. You've got to be able to talk to Ethel, who's 75, got you introducing doors, and then new houses. You've got to be a real.
I could imagine you being a hit with Ethel.
Oh, mate, right. I tell you what. I do some work at an old people's home in Warwick, and to get
You're
the job,
the entertainment.
Oh, mate, no, honestly.
Harriet, Mark, Curry.
I'll come for a biscuit. But to get the job, I had to sit in front of a panel. It's not an old people's home. It's they're their own flats, but in like a wardened thing. So to every tradesman or anyone that goes, they have to sit in front of a board for them to say you're all right to work there. Because,
for approval.
Yeah, for approval. So I've gone there, sat there, they've approved it and that. But obviously, if I go and knock on Ethel, it's always Ethel, isn't it? If I go and knock on Ethel's door, 6 foot, bald-head, big guy, covered in tattoos, you'll knock on the door. First thing they want to do is reassurance. So you've got to have that in you as well.
I mean, so when you're working, because we're sat with these now, like, what was it where you thought, was the map the first thing that you came, the first idea?
After the ankle cover idea, yeah. That went on for a few weeks.
So what was that? So describe that ankle cover to us then. So how did it come about, that thought, that process? You're working...
No, that wasn't my one. That was my brother's. That was.
Right, okay. So what was the...
Credit to my brother there.
What was the lead into that?
I think for him, just like that, like what you've possibly seen, that you've mentioned, it just doesn't look very good. So the idea was it would go neoprene based with a tighter fit, slim line, different colours and stuff. And bought a sewing machine, give it a good go. It was really hard. So
what was that made out of then? What did...
Basically this top material.
Same as this?
Yeah.
So what's this? It's just like a...
It's just polyester.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, and then with the neoprene padding.
So for the ankle, it's just like an overshoe?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Just something tight to go over the top of the boot, and then tight round your ankle just to stop that. And again, we knew it would work for the bricklayers, the ground workers and stuff like that. Anyone in a hole, digging and stuff. So
how was that? So you come up with the idea, you've designed it. How did you get that out? What was the first?
No, nothing. It failed. We failed making it. Yeah. And I didn't
so
really
never
know. Never even come about now. But
that planted the seed.
Yeah, sitting there of an evening for at least, let's say, 2 weeks, keep trying to make them. That's when I just had a bit of a brainwave, really, and obviously just handling the material and that. And
you was like, this ain't working. However,
I've got a better idea now.
So what was that thought process then? What was you...
Just, I don't know, really. I suppose it's just I just pictured it in my head, just what it'd look like. And a couple of the people I followed, I saw just branding mainly, different logos and stuff. I thought that's obviously a massive point for it. And then just the ease of it, because everyone knows dust sheets are an absolute nightmare, aren't they? So.
Until I've seen a few people starting to use these more often now, because I always used to see people with, the stuff that sticks down. It's almost like cling film, but sticky, isn't it? That goes.
You buy it in a roll, and you just. I use it. Was I with you at the KBB and I tried to? Yes. And I tried to. yeah. They had that
like a 3M or something, wasn't it?
A roller
that failed miserably.
I think that was made originally for hard floor, wasn't it? That sticky stuff. They used to put it on kitchen floors. But it's a pain. It can be a pain to put down. And
it's not very sustainable either, is it?
And it's a pain to get up as well. It just pulls carpets up, and if you've got any loose laminate or whatever, it'll pull all that up as well.
Yeah, I've never used it simply because it is just so awkward to put down, I find.
Well, the thing is with that, it's not very sustainable, but also you've got, like, if you're working across a big area, you can't just move it like you can with one of these. You've then got to do the rest of that area.
Yeah.
But you saw me. I mean, obviously, if you're using it every day, you're probably a bit better than what I was, but I was absolutely terrible putting that stuff down.
It's quite amusing. We should have filmed it.
I think we did. I think there's got to be some sort of evidence somewhere. So you come up with, now, okay, you're going to go into the match. The first thing failed. Where did the name Dusty Boys come from? Obviously, you're trying to stop dust and stuff like that, but where?
Yeah, that was sort of with the ankle cover, really. So me and my brother, we were just in the living room working together. He proceeded to tell me about this idea, and I said, that sounds like a good idea. We'll call it Dusty Boys, because it was obviously me and him in the room. And
it's quite a striking logo. And when you came in, I thought that it was a standalone brand, but it's not been. You run it alongside carpentry, because you're still doing carpentry now, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you're just running it alongside that.
Yeah. The odd day it's a day job, and then most days it's an evening job.
Because I often feel that people don't realise, actually, it's probably best to do it alongside that. You hear of loads of different people, even obviously Gymshark down the road. Ben was doing his delivery boy Peter stuff alongside Gymshark, and I always feel, especially with trade stuff that's trade related, for you to still be working on the tools, it's great, because you can sort of test stuff out, or go, actually, that's like, this is a bit too long, or I feel like we need to do this, or actually we can adapt it and add this, or why don't we do like the worktop mats now, or why don't we do something else? So you're always coming up with different ideas. I mean,
so the original, so this has become a thing. 4 years ago, you've gone right, and you've designed this, you've got it up and running. How is it then becoming? How are you getting it out there? What are you doing? Because at that point, no one knows about it. The other one failed, so now this is working. How are you progressing? Talk us through that 4 years ago.
I'm going to say a little bit of luck to start with.
Yeah, that's always good. You need a bit of that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I sat on it for a little bit again, because I didn't really know what to do with it, because it was a similar boat with this ankle covers.
I think you always, especially if you've tried to do the first thing, you're a bit apprehensive, because you think, well, that didn't work, or is this bit going to work?
Yeah, we did. To be fair, and Nicholas said on the way, we moved house as well at the same time as all that, so it was all a bit.
What, when this was starting?
Yeah,
I presume you two were together. Have you got kids as well?
Yeah, we got kids. Yeah.
Like, everyone's like, we got them bloody things knocking around.
Just from personal experience, I know the stress of that. Alongside, obviously, if, you're thinking, is this going to work? It's a tough gig.
Yeah. Of an evening, when you're trying to get stuff done and that, and then you feel like you're not doing enough at home.
And running your carpentry company as well.
If you had a long day in the summer and that, and then your kids want to play, and I've got to do some invoice and bloody packing or designing because of the customised stuff that we do, and it can get on top of you, if you don't keep.
Well, then you feel bad as well, because if you're there and you're trying to work, and maybe you're looking after the kids, or the kids want to play with you, and you're thinking, what do
you do? Like?
And a lot of people listening and watching to this always ask the questions of, how did you start your business to me, or what did you do with your business, and how did you get this to this? And I'm always like, I'll be perfectly honest, half the time I never knew, because I was just on autopilot.
Just a bit of battling, innit? You just keep going, like.
But you've now been doing this 4 years. Obviously, you've got help of a good lady with you.
I have indeed.
What are some of the future plans then for the brand, and where you want to take this? And is there anything else that you've got your eye on that's not related to this?
No, not really. No, I'm focusing pretty much on that. Yeah, just new, unique ideas that I haven't really, just obviously for protection purposes, and just trying to collaborate with people, and we're trying to do that just recently. Specific trade products, then things like that. We'd see So I'd say we've got a few things in the pipeline.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, would you say, because one thing I always stress on here, and people always go, oh, you bang on about social media, because me and him are like, social media, is, have you found that to launch the business, that has helped you as a business owner? Is it something where it's helped you connect with other people, get like, people to test the product, use the product, show the product off? Is it?
Yeah. So, but like at the beginning, it all kicked off with it's a bit of a funny one, to be fair, because it somewhat fell out somehow, but a lad sort of boosted everything for us at the begining. So I didn't really have a fight, which I feel like some people may have, like trying to push your product out there, trying to get people to notice it and things like that. I sort of landed on my feet with him, and the rest was sort of history, to be honest. My first order that I had shipped over was pretty much sold out by the time I'd got it, so.
Yeah. That's a good issue to have.
Yeah.
So you designed this and you've got it up and running. What's that first step then? What did you do? You've got this. Where did you go first? Did you reach out, or?
Some people have the idea for how they're going to get it out, but then can't settle on the product. And then some people have the product, but then have no idea of like a route to market for.
Well, I didn't, to be honest. I mean, I had my first order that I did of this material sat in my garage for, let's say, 6 months.
Vintage.
Didn't really know what to do with it. Like, I was using it myself. And then I started using it on the workbench, which wasn't its initial idea, really, because I started doing, like, spray finished cabinetry, which is where I come across this influencer. And I noticed at the time he was using, like, an IKEA bath mat instead of this. Right. So I was like, well, I'm using this now. So I sent him a picture. I said, what do you reckon to this? I sent it him, and he liked the product, he used it, and then sort of promoted it for me, and that was that then. So I say it's probably not the best thing to give advice on, because I got a bit of a golden ticket, really.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you're never able, one thing I realised in business, you're never able to do everything yourself. So even though you think you've had the golden ticket, I think, I always think the stars align for you in certain things, which, you talked about luck, but it's a lot of it is you meet somebody at the right time, and then somehow, like, your paths cross, and then
they can come together, and that obviously helped the start of that. And for whatever reason, it's. Do you say there's been a bit of a?
I wouldn't say a falling out.
How did it go? How did that? Are you all right talking about it?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't even. We haven't spoke about it since me and the lad. But
what happened then? Let's go.
Basically, it was just down to it's the first time I'd done discount codes to people.
Right.
So I'd done this may be a little bit of advice. If you are giving discount codes out, maybe stick to one person, which I've found now that it doesn't really matter, and everyone can have one at the same sort of time. But he didn't like the fact that I'd given it to somebody else, and then I got a few shirty messages off him, and I thought, well, hold on a minute, like he knows I'm new to this.
Yeah. If anything, if he wasn't new to it, and he clearly had an influence, he should have been helping you. I've not worked with them, but I've had companies come to me that are very, start-up businesses and very new to it, and I've gone, try this, try that. You want a little bit of guidance from people who know the.
Well, they're on the score. You're on the opposite side of the fence to somebody like me.
Yeah.
I was very lucky because I sort of, I wouldn't say stole, but I mimicked the Gymshark playbook.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I did for my business. I thought, this is how I'm going to do.
You tweaked your business to that
and
style.
I just thought, if it works for somebody sending out T-shirts and stringer vests, because trying to get somebody in a stringer vest, isn't the easiest thing. I thought, but if it works for that, then surely it's got to work for me. So I just listened to what Ben had done, and he sort of, I sent products to here, I sent them to people on YouTube, stuff like that. So I had that sort of semi-roadmap for it.
Yeah.
It was obviously, if you've never had that, but also at the same time, if somebody wants to work with you, they shouldn't sort of really be dictating what you do with your business.
That's right, yeah.
If
that makes any sense.
Yeah. It's a shame.
You want to give every man in his dog a discount code, do it. It's your...
Yeah. So it was literally, there was 3 of them, and to be fair, the 2 now are still friends, and then there's the other lad who we still deal with now, like,
right.
So it is what it is, really. It's just a shame that it had to come to that, because
I mean, I've limited it with this business, with Unilight, as to who we offer discount codes with or who we work with, because I don't ever want it to seem too over the top salesy. And I think, obviously, if you give it to 25 people who've got a discount code, then it sort of waters down the fact that other people have got it. Do you know what I mean? I wanted it to be a bit more exclusive. And again, the thing from him down the road was, at one point, you know, people were leaving school and people were saying, well, what do you want to be when you're older? A Gymshark athlete.
Right.
So he'd made it that exclusive
Yeah, yeah.
that people were actually saying, when you know, careers, I want to be a Gymshark athlete. I mean, I couldn't think of anything worse. So sorry, Ben.
But marketing's funny, isn't it, like that?
Yeah.
I suppose, especially...
But you see now how many girls, guys want to be gym influencers. You go to a gym, you've got people with tripods everywhere. It's completely... It's completely flipped on its head, hasn't it?
But like with this, as tradespeople, this will be everywhere in trades, in influence or content creators' videos, because you'll be covering floors up. I'll cover floors up, chippies will, plasterers usually don't. Plasterers or conscientious tradespeople. So this is a perfect sort of product to even have just in the background. Like with the Unites, he's always said to me, don't ram them down people's road. Just have them in the background, because people pick up on that a lot more than, you know, if you're pushing them right to the front. And this, you know, it's going to be everywhere.
Because the branding on it as well. You put this on the floor, somebody's doing a job like Mark, and he's there and he's talking about, oh, you know, I just use this product, or I'm using this, and then I'm press fitting here. The whole time, that subconsciously is in.
It's in the shot, isn't it? It's constantly in the shot.
Somebody's eye view. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy.
Let me just go to the loo.
He's off. How long was that? That kind of half an hour?
I could feel the granddad bladder kick in. Need to go. 25 minutes.
There you go.
Carry on chatting anyway. I'll be
Cool. So you've got this out. So you've found your initial way out with the guy that you was working with. So at that point, you've got to have bought in stock. So you've invested quite a lot of money.
Yeah.
Without really knowing if it was going to work from day one.
Yeah.
And that was a bit of a risk then, weren't it?
Yeah. But to be fair, we've spoken about this with me and my brother, how things work and that, like, and sort of traits and things like that. And my traits are spending lots of money, so it was kind of that thing where it didn't really bother me.
Okay.
You know, it's quite a normal thing just to go, oh yeah, here's a few grand here, there, or whatever. Or, you know, I think, to be fair, the first order I put it on a credit card, to be fair. So
yeah, but you can put it onto that and you can buy stock. So then the content creator or whoever's beginning to get it out there, at what point did it begin to filter through to you with people buying stuff in?
No, I'd say pretty much straight away. Really.
Straight away?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, we did sort of... I suppose I'm trying to remember how it sort of went now, obviously being 4 years ago, but let's say we might have used them for a couple of weeks, and then we started like a bit of a pre-order thing. And I say that's when by the time it'd come, we pretty much sold most of the stock anyway, because everything has to come from China.
Yeah.
So it's pretty straightforward like that, like, you know, just...
Because you're still out working as a carpenter.
Yeah. I suppose on that basis, I'd say the second year was our biggest. The first year was steady. Like when I look back now, I'd say that's the revenue and stuff. Like now we're doing what we did in the first year in a month.
Oh, brilliant!
So like that would drag that work over a month, you know, over a year.
So what are you doing? Just marketing
steady,
it yourself with your Instagram account? Is it just Instagram you do?
Yeah, just Instagram. We've got a Facebook page, but it doesn't really get touched, to be fair.
So so the whole lot is based on Instagram then?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah,
that's your only outlet at the moment.
Backbone to it, like, yeah. And then with all the, you know, with the people using it and spreading the word for us, and which has been a massive thing. I don't think we'd be where we were really now if it wasn't for how much support we've had and the love for the product and for the branding, to be honest. I mean,
so your first product was the mat.
That's
protector.
that is like the old.
And then when did you start bringing in?
I think that was on potentially on like the second or third order we did. I found out that we could have
make it thicker,
have a thicker version. Yeah, I mean, I remember showing that to my dad, because when I first got it out of the box, I thought, wow, like, I don't know what it is about it, but I just loved it, and I showed him, and he was like, that's not very good. And I'm
but I always say, I think
you can always rely on a parent.
I've always said it on here, I think on a few different podcasts we've done, when we come to advice, the number one bit of advice I had as a tradesman was the first ever day that I started my apprenticeship. And the guy walked in, new to it all, sat there with the little lunchbox with me food and all that. And he turned to me and he went, Mark, the best bit of advice I can give you is protect your knees. So ever since then, I've always wore trousers with pads in the front, or I've had a kneeling pad. I mean, but this is good.
But the thing I find with some of these is, you know, like the ones where they've got the handle on, people, they're quite thick.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
And the issue is, when some of them are so thick, is when your knees on them, they're actually too firm.
And they're uncomfortable.
Yeah. Whereas if you've got something that's a bit more flexible.
Yeah, because as a nail pad goes, I think people would probably look at it and go, "Why is it so thin?" But I think once you use it, you realise.
But some of them, when you're on them, they're like, you can feel the pressure points on your knees. That's why if I was in your situation, I'd be wearing them inside my trousers.
That's where I have mine, so I can just, they're always there. But something like that, if you're unrolling and covering the floor up with that, you'll get that. Even if you're not using it as a knee pad, it's a protector over a sink or
that's sort of why we went with the bigger one as well.
It
was a plumber's idea, to be fair, so it's that wide but a metre long.
They do have good ideas, don't they?
We are good.
And
little brainwaves.
Even like for like a boiler service and stuff like that. Like they're mint,
pop that underneath on the worktop.
Yeah.
And I mean, how easy are these to clean as well? Because I'd imagine these get
you can obviously
super dirty.
There's certain things that stick to them, like but even like PU glue or peel off. But just general dirt, like off your boots, unreal, really.
I mean, could you wash?
Yeah, you wash them. Yeah, my favourite things are brush and a hose pipe, to be fair. But a lot of people pressure wash or put them in the washing machine if you're allowed. But yeah, you'd be surprised how well this white will come back. That'll almost as it is, even after a full mud day.
Because that's another thing. Well, from my perspective, I'd always want to, if I was going around somebody's house, if you unrolled one of these and it was filthy, people would go like, get it off my carpet. Do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So
yeah, usually dust sheets. The guy will be outside whacking them against I've done it, whacking them against screws shooting off and crap that you haven't cleaned.
Watch me car outside.
But they'll roll up perfectly.
Ladies and gents of Trade Legends, I just want to say to you, we have a fantastic little deal for Tradeify, our software sponsor for Black Friday. Now, if you want to get 50% off for a whole year, all you have to do is use code BF2024 and you will get 50% off for the whole year. And this offer is running until the end of November, so make sure you get in there and get it done.
Is it beginning to...
Like I say, pretty steady, really. So from the work side of things, I'd say probably the last half of last year was when I started to spend days at home working on it as opposed to just solely evenings.
I mean, is that difficult as well? Because every tradesman that comes on here goes, getting off the tools is almost like their kryptonite. They're like, I feel like I should be doing something.
Yeah.
Are you finding that difficult, or are you more actually?
Yeah, I like being at home. Yeah.
So are you in your head when you're at work doing carpentry? I don't want to be here. I want to be sorting this stuff now.
Depending what sort of day you're having, that goes. I suppose even down to sometimes if it's if you're outside and it's pissing down, you think could be in the
gazebo out or something.
Yeah.
But this is beginning to be the main. Is it becoming the main sort of priority in your life now?
I'd say priority, yeah. Not so much like income based. I'm still sort of relying on going to work and making sure that's that. But yeah.
But you must be stockpiling a lot of stuff then.
We got some stock in. Yeah. We did our first container order at the beginning of this year, so that was a big step.
But just for that, I don't know what a container of anything costs. Just for a container's
the thing that people don't realise, and I didn't either. I was very naive. Was 3-4 years goes past, and it goes like that, and you don't ever pat yourself on the back because you forget that actually 3 years ago I had 10 of these in a room.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you got 100 in a room. And then you got 1,000 in a room. And
before you
realise it, 10 years have gone by and you're like, shit, I've got a business.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you never, one thing I wish I'd have done more of was document, because it wasn't a thing back then, but document more of the journey of the business. Because then people would have seen, actually, look, I remember watching you and you did this and now you're doing this.
Yeah.
But you have to, even if it's just you two, take pictures of what you do and then share them on social media to say to people, look, first container, be proud of it.
Yeah. But I think that side of it, showing that, is really engaging and authentic. And it would, for me, it would make me go, have you seen that brand, Dusty Boys?
It's a bit like Big Boots.
Yeah. Ryan shows it.
Ryan, his wife.
Fucking hell, I'm in the lounge and it's piling. Can't even see the telly. As a trader, well, you're a trader, that would make me go, I want to be involved with them because they're...
You want to support somebody that's...
definitely. So how do you sum that up then?
She's like, I'm not taking any pictures.
Honestly,
don't get me in.
Be proud of that and document it.
It's a proper little setup in itself, but it's just...
Yeah.
It was my spray booth prior to it being a stocking room, which I suppose you'd probably say now that's even more of a story.
Yeah, it's great.
You might look at
you can't see out the window.
You might look at certain things and go, I don't want to put that on. But every step that you make, because the next thing, it won't be your spray room, it'll be a small warehouse or it'll be a mid-sized warehouse. And then all of a sudden you think, I never thought I'd end up in a building like this.
You know, when you order a container, this might sound a massively silly question. Do you go and meet that container at the dock?
No.
Okay. So I was asking because that would be a wicked picture for you to go, leaning against you.
Folkestone.
Yeah, literally. Our first container. No, but that is brilliant.
But we've done it here when we're waiting on a product and we do the slow-mo, the doors open, then you've got everybody handballing the product off the back of the container. And we've done that and then gone, what is it? Because we're showing it off. Yeah. And people get pumped because they're like, oh, they're finally here. I've ordered one of these on pre-order. Yeah. But it just, even during COVID when we were running the business here, like it was an achievement to actually even get containers because at some point they were so expensive and so they were like rocking horse shit. Trying to get a container was so difficult. And they went from, I think, like £2,500 for a container to about £9,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because obviously governments around the world were stockpiling PPE, so they were like, whatever it costs, we'll pay for it.
But then the cost of that container's got to have a knock-on effect, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, especially if you've got a business and you've baked in sort of where you need to be on a product. And the thing was, people used to ask me, when we go through that phase of product launches every few months.
Oh, I know,
through COVID. And everybody was going, well, how much is it? And I was like, well, I don't know how much the container is until it gets it. Because not only have you got to pay for the container.
I didn't like that part.
You've then got, obviously, like, surcharges, or you've got import fees, because depending on what material it is or what type of product it is, you've got different codes and stuff like that you have to import stuff on.
Is that something that you was like, I don't know, how are we pricing this? What are we doing with it?
Well, to be fair, we didn't initially. I paid up front because I did such a small order. We sort of paid for a part of the container just to bring the first order over. And then from then on, just to keep things simple, just because I was just so inexperienced, I learned that I could ship things via the rail and just pay everything up front. So I literally had no hidden fees that way.
So how long did it take a container? How long did it?
The trains, I think the train journey's like 2 to 3 weeks. Right. But then customs, for some reason, on the train one, just seemed to nail it every time.
Ages to process stuff. And then you have to get stuff booked in as well. You have to have a set time to have it dropped off to you.
So when all this arrives then, where is it being stored at your house?
Initially it was.
Okay.
And then...
I bet you love that, didn't you?
What,
I looked and I thought...
Every room of the house?
I know that face. When you've got it in cupboards,
stuff like that,
we need some cereal. Fucking I look on a mat.
But people don't realise this. When that gets delivered, people just go, oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, there's not a second thought for it. And this is the thing on the other side of the fence from trades, which is great for you because you get it. They don't see like all the struggle to get a product just to you guys, and then not only from you guys, you've then got to get it to somebody else. And they just that is like, because they order and it's just Amazon's done us a good thing because everything's quick and it's accessible, but it's also done us a bad thing because people never think about that in between and how difficult that bit is just to get that bit right to then.
But you've learned all that as you've gone along. Have you had any guidance from anyone?
I reckon that's the brains over there.
The brains of the operation.
I wish he was, because
so you've learned on the fly. Then you've learned by your mistakes.
And I suppose like the carpentry side of things, it's probably sort of just cheat me up for it a little bit, like, and just sort of used to it. Like,
people don't realise there's a lot of trial and error and luck.
Yeah,
and luck.
Lucky he had enough rooms to stock all his stuff. So your house is full of this stuff at this point.
At that point, yeah.
and then where are you storing it? Have you got?
So now, basically the people who I use to ship, they've got a warehouse and it's like 5 minutes down the road. So just got pallet spaces. I was going to put a container in the yard there, but that's just not very efficient.
Is it drop shipping? Is that what?
No.
Sort of.
No,
is it not?
No. I literally just store it there. I'll go there. I'll pick it up. I'll bring it back home. And we just
so you come in at night, go for your emails, see what orders have come in.
Yeah, well, Nick will pack the orders in the daytime. And then I do.
Is that every day now?
Yeah, that's been every day for a while, really.
What's a while? A year?
A couple of years, I'd say. Okay. Yeah, we've been.
So it is massively turning its keeping its nose clean.
Yeah.
So have you dipped your toe into the trade shows?
One.
Which one was that?
Just Trade Decorator Live, it was called. I'd say it's a small one, really.
Right.
So it's just sort of finding its feet, I think.
How did you find that then?
It was good.
So
Yeah,
what
really
did you
good.
take there? A stand?
Yeah,
a
we did
setup?
a bit of a, again, just sort of didn't really know what I was doing. Got a few posters and that made.
Yeah.
Luckily, my cousin, he does just all the
Graphic
design
design.
and stuff like
Right.
yeah. So he's my right hand man for that sort of thing. And yeah, we've bought a table, chucked a mat on it, had a banner made a frame for that with me.
But that must have been a bit of a conscious decision going, let's have a go at a trade show, because there's an initial outlay to put that on, innit?
yeah. That was probably the hardest thing to swallow, really.
What, the cost of that?
Yeah, just going on, just paying up front for.
Did it work out for you?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
A lot of the shows when you first start, you either lose a slight little bit of money, or if you're lucky, you break even.
It's brand
we
awareness,
didn't-
isn't it?
Yeah, that was more what we aimed for. Like,
But,
we didn't make any
but
money,
eventually,
like.
when the products are in the wild, people come back for a repeat order,
Yeah.
and that's where the business grows. I mean, this is another thing that I love listening to when people are starting a business like this, and it's starting to go. Is that people don't realise that your sales, your HR, your finance, your all of these things, and you're like, you're not really good at any of them.
Yeah.
You're just okay at all of them, and you feel like, oh, I'm treading water here, just trying to keep my
Spinning
head.
plates.
Yeah. So I love hearing that, because that's a completely different dimension to selling online, because theoretically you can hide behind your computer screen and go, oh, thanks for the order.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're face to face and you go to somebody's like, well, excuse me, why should I buy this mat?
Yeah, I had to turn to a salesman for 2 days.
How
man.
was it? How did you find that? Because I take it you've never done that.
No, I'd never done that.
So
before,
how was
yeah.
that? Was
It
it?
was leading up to it's pretty nerve wracking.
Where was it at? Where was it at?
The location, Bolton Wanderers. It was Trade
Right,
Decorate
okay,
Live.
okay.
I won't put you on the spot and
think it
say,
was.
give us your You'd be like,
By the end of the day, like I'd just been repeating
Yeah.
it solid, hadn't I? It's a bit,
But I bet that was quite daunting for you, wasn't it?
yeah, it was. Yeah, leading up to it, I say, but then just sort of
Did
as
you
it
just
went,
fire
just-
straight into it?
Yeah, just sort of. I suppose as it sort of the
well, if you don't, you're going to go.
Yeah.
as the people started building up and that, and it sort of just.
And what was the feedback then at that show?
Oh, good, yeah, really good. That was like sort of why I come back sort of smiling, I suppose, because everyone, they sort of asked us again, like where the idea come from and that, and just sort of spreading that word was nice. And
So then you've moved
Pick on
into like
something.
other little things. I assume you got
That's what-
t-shirts, hoodies.
yeah, that's
little-
what they were for, to be fair. Yeah,
Right.
we had a look at them in for that.
I'm waiting for a wetsuit, aren't I?
Yeah.
I'd have one of them.
So what have you got coming up? Have you got anything planning, like different products coming up?
Yeah, we've got a few.
Do you want to say too much or not?
Not really, no. Not,
Okay.
nothing
Keep it
against
Stop asking me, Mark.
that sort of leads down to another brand that's come on the scene that's sort of copying our stuff, so don't really want to say too much.
But do you know what?
release,
Do you know what the
isn't it?
beauty
But-
of this is? Is if the business does continue to grow, and I was very much like you, so I'm not telling anyone. I'm keeping it to myself. Now I tell everybody because they can't do what I do. So I'm like,
Yeah. Confidence in the product, isn't it?
No,
I mean,
it-
you're confident in that, but you don't want to give away them little nuggets of.
Yeah. Well, to be fair to this, it's been copied. To be fair, so.
But
It is what it
you
is,
get
but-
you.
I have
used
it.
to tell
I have
me,
it.
like, it's
I have it all
constantly
the
copied.
time, and I have it off other bigger brands. Bigger brands. Like I look and I think your product's exactly the same as mine. There's a few big power tool brands as well that copy us, and I think
Yeah.
it used to really annoy me because a lot of people go, "Oh, why does it bother you?" And it's like, well, because I've spent 12 to 18 months designing these products, testing them relentlessly, and somebody's just gone and brought it off the shelf and taken it to China and gone, "Can you make me something that looks like that?" Which
Yeah.
you think really pisses me off. Eventually, now I look at it as a compliment, but it's very, very difficult to detach yourself from
Yeah.
that anger of.
That's
Why
probably
can't you just
what
get
it
your
is
own
in our
idea?
field, to be fair, that's more like it's not that I knew obviously starting it. Everyone, have you patented it? Have you done this? Have you done that? And it's like, well, I haven't got the money to do that. I don't know what I'm doing, so no. And I've already sold some, but like we say, just copying it. There's just no other deviation from the design. You know what I mean? It is literally the same product. They try and promote it as a new product, and you think, well, hold on a minute. I remember sitting at my dining room chair behind a sewing machine.
Yeah.
And I know where that idea come from,
Yeah.
And now it's like other people are promoting it, and you think, no way, man. Like, although there is other brands that have done mats, and like,
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
cool in the
they've
game,
been
man.
around for however long, but it's just you've got to get that little niche of the market and work with exactly what you've got and push it to the best of your ability. That's why I think showing the not behind the scenes, but the rawness of it,
Yeah.
I think is a massive bonus. I think it's really engaging. So what's the future there? Obviously, you don't want to say what products it is, but is there a plan in place?
Well, as you've probably figured out now, but not. But
no, he's winging
sort
it.
of just going with it, yeah. So, we've just got those few ideas really. We're sort of branching out slowly into retail. So we've got 4 retailers now.
Who are them? Do you want to say them?
Yeah, with a first ever one, TF Tools, to timber framing, tooling, stuff like that. And then we went to My Paintbrush, and then Next Day Paint, and now we've just launched in ITS, which is a nice big one for us.
That's good.
So is there a reason why you aiming more towards the decorating?
Not really. That's just who we get. Those were approached.
ITS is,
I know ITS, but you obviously went to the decorating show, and it just seemed to be that.
No, yeah, that was just sort of a natural thing that sort of happened. It wasn't really anything of my choice. My Paintbrush approached me, and also with the Decorator Live, they approached me, and if I wanted a stall,
it is weird how stuff like, because we were primarily electrical. Electricians were like, and this is I'm not digging out plumbers here before I start a plumber war.
Good job you're over there, Al.
No, but I would say the last 4 or 5 years with plumbers is really caught up to electrical. There's more. I'm willing to spend that money on stuff. Like 15 years ago, when I first entered with the brand, it was like the difference between a Sparky and a plumber. Plumber would be like, I want that one that's 20 quid. Whereas now, I don't. I feel like the disparity's completely disappeared.
Do you think that across the whole trades, carpenters, electricians, who predominantly use hand tools?
I mean, it's difficult for me to judge carpentry because I don't sell so much to carpentry. I might sell one work light because they put it down and they work, or they, the gazebos that you're chopping stuff outside, they might hang something from there when it's getting late in the afternoon in the winter or whatever. But like plumbers and electrical, the disparity is completely gone. And I suppose in the next few years, because we're selling into HVAC now, and that becomes bigger air conditioning units, or we've got all these big cassettes in the ceiling here for ventilation and stuff like that. I think that will catch up to that's probably about 5 years behind where you guys are.
Progression though, isn't it?
So,
but I think so many trades, not that it's been aimed at the decorating side, but I'd use these all the time, going upstairs. Like I said to you earlier on, I seen the picture on your Instagram of the stair. What do you call them? The stair
rods.
Stair rods. So usually, as people work inside people's houses, you'll have your dust sheets going up the stairs. You'll know it as well, and it always causes that bow. And the amount of times I've been on like step 2 at the top and gone all the way down because the dust sheet, it pulls away from the actual right angle of the step. So you've got these pushed right in.
No wonder Bethel gets scared when you're coming down the stairs.
Looks like a wardrobe coming down, mate. But yeah, the rods took it right into the stairs, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, people do that with dust sheets also, and that's been a thing, doesn't it? But my argument is then, obviously, using this instead is just then you've got your waterproof, obviously, if you're in and out, which is, I suppose, why I sort of came up with the idea, because I wouldn't say so many other trades really need to be in and out the house so much, but I find with carpentry, it is literally just, if you're generally cutting,
you're out.
You're in and out, especially if you're skirting. Got to have your store outside, and then before you know
skirts
it,
and trade.
Everyone's got.
But even floors. Like from my game, inside baths, when you fit a bath, you'd put one of them inside a shower tray. So many people on Instagram and content and social media, they'll be working inside a shower, putting the shower unit on the wall. Nothing's covering the shower.
I see that.
And all it takes is a screwdriver to drop down. I've done it. Screwdriver to drop down, chip the tray, done. Whereas if you could get, the 900 quadrants, if you get one that's perfect, cut into that shape, done. Lay it straight in.
So, should we go to Jerry Springer final thought, or do you want to?
Yeah, no.
Is there anything else that you want to deep dive into? So what we do now is round about this time, because we've been chatting for how long? We've been chatting, Jack.
About.
So it goes quite quick.
It
doesn't
does. Yeah, I thought it might. Too.
Is we always give people an opportunity to either relay some advice, so you might turn around and say, well, actually, when I started the business, I never thought about doing this, or I wish somebody had told me this, or...
I'd say if we're going down the advice route, I've only really got advice on stuff that's like bad things that have happened to me.
But that,
But that's probably a good thing, just to sort of steer clear of anything that's...
So what, like, you've obviously got one thing. Have you got multiple things? Saying, obviously, if it's to do with the business, I wish I'd have done this, I wish I'd have done this, or I wish I'd have done this, or...
Like take a risk. If you believe in something, give it a go.
Yeah, there's obviously that side of things. Definitely, like if you've got an idea, then just obviously try and start off as small as you can. I mean, I didn't at the time, but I could have ordered just one of these mats from China and just trialed that, sort of showed people, but sort of delved in, as I mentioned, being a bit of an idiot really. But
how many did you order the first order then?
To be fair, I couldn't really say now. That order that we sold,
It sounded like that you was like, I could have done one, but I ended up getting 10,000 all at once.
Well, to be fair, the first order was pretty steady, but
some people do go.
That's what I mean. That's why I weren't sure.
Like without thinking,
like a few pallets.
Is anyone going to? I would rather sell 100 and go, shit, I need to order more.
Yeah.
Then go, I've ordered 10,000 and somebody's just ordered one.
I mean, Barry Big Bollocks, I've got all of this lot.
So just so either start off as small or as little as you possibly as you can, and utilise social media really, is like we have, and then just the only thing I've sort of missed out on is like the business side of things, like not having done this before. Like if you can team up with somebody that does know that side of things, I think that would have progressed.
Get a mentor,
of some kind.
Do you wish you had done that then?
Yeah, I think so. Just because even now, I think I don't know enough what we're doing, And like I say,
do you still
sort of
feel
like?
Yeah, I was going to say, do you still feel like you're winging it?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, definitely.
And does that keep you sharp to keep, like I've got to make it work?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I still definitely. I suppose the deeper it sort of goes, then I think if it doesn't work now, then it's like.
I think it is, isn't it?
I think we've always, if we're selling stuff, it's never come back. So that's a positive. And then another thing, if anybody does, like talking on that mentor side of thing, if anybody does come on board, is to have some kind of written agreement, NDAs, which I've only just recently learned about, things like that. And
I always find people are too scared to ask a question. They don't want to come across as thick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely.
I always say to everybody,
ask it. Yeah.
Don't be afraid to ask a question.
There's
because
no
even if somebody goes,
question,
all right then, mate.
Yeah.
Where did you start out? Do you know what I mean?
That's what I said about the pallet. The container. In my head, I was like, maybe you have to meet it at Folkestone and get a truck to pick everything up. Yeah.
People don't know unless you've done it.
Yeah.
I'd probably go, well, where do you have to go and collect these containers?
Yeah. They just chuck it on the dock and go, there's your mats.
No. Well, I want to say from me and Mark, thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah,
I always love, we've had people like Braun Workwear on as well, haven't we? And, especially brands that are, you start seeing more people using them. I always think it's great to have them on and then talk about their journey. So anybody else that gets inspired and thinks, I want to have a go at that. So big thank you from me and Mark.
Yeah.
And also, I'm going to plug cheekily again, if you've enjoyed the show, even if you haven't enjoyed it, but you like content like this, like, subscribe, give us a follow. We're on TikTok, we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, Instagram, we're Facebook as well. We're across them all.
We're everywhere.
So big thanks for the follows and the likes and the engagement with the channel.
And also, now we're at the end, we can say, are we good for a code, a discount?
Don't tell them what the code is because we want them to click on the
that's what I was going to say. Go to the trade. Is it Trade Legends?
Tradelegends.uk.
Go there and Troy will sort out a bit of a discount for some Dusty Boys stuff.
And we have got a discount code page where if you're looking for insurance or you're looking for workwear or you're looking for specific tools or coverings, whatever it is, we've got loads of different brands on there. I think there's about 35.
There's quite a few, aren't there?
35 now. So save yourself a little bit of money and go have a little cheeky look.
There you go. But no, thanks for coming on, mate.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, appreciate it, man. It was mint.